4 inches, number 32, Cheyenne Parker. Starting in center, standing 6'5", number 31, Stephanie Dawson. Starting in the other forward position, 6 feet 1 inches, number 1, Diamond Shields. At shooting guard, 5 feet 10 inches, number 14, Ellie Quigley. At the other guard position, standing 5'8", number 22, Courtney Vandersloot. The head coach of the team. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Sky.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the WNBA on 2K Sports. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Seattle Storm going up against the Chicago Sky. Joined by Brian Banafitemi and Tim Swartz, I'm Blake Suniga, and we are so glad you've joined us tonight. And two stellar guards go head-to-head. How should these players approach this matchup?
Well, do not make this a game of one-on-one. I know it can be tempting, but this is a team game. You always want to outscore your opponent individually. However, there's more to the matchup than that.
Totally. The only point total that matters is the game score, the one we see up on the scoreboard. Remember, this is the WNBA, the best league in the world. So these two want these kinds of nights, a chance to face off with a fellow elite player.
Quigley can't get it to go. Bird right side. Howard outside for Stewart. Bird outside. Drills the three-pointer.
One big rule of defense. Never let a good shooter get in rhythm. I think Bird qualifies as a great shooter, so don't let her do that.
Now here's Vandersloot. Outside Quigley. To the left side wing. 4 on the clock. Vandersloot outside. Pass to Quigley. The three-pointer off the mark.
Yeah, the great shooters, they know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice there.
Yeah, not very good defensive coverage that time. The T got lucky.
Look at Stewart go. Look, she's versatile and not afraid to push the tempo to score some fast break points.
They get it back. Vandersloot. And she drops in the layup off glass.
Took them a while to get going. They finally connect on their 4th shot of the game.
And the basket by Lloyd.
It's funny. It's almost like she has a radar. Sue Bird with a great feel for where her teammates are. That comes with experience.
I think my favorite part of Courtney Vandersloot's game is her ability to facilitate. She's led the league in assists multiple times, and she's always looking for the open teammate. She makes passes that other players simply can't. They've had a cold start so far, just 1 for 5 from the floor here early. They depend on her to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid defense draped on her.
Pass to Vandersloot. And the ball out of play, the Storm will have it. And for how good of a distributor Vandersloot is, Tim, that's not the only thing she can do offensively.
Absolutely not, Blake. Vandersloot also has a nice touch around the rim and can even extend her range to the three-point line. All in all, she's a quality scoring option anytime she's on the floor as well.
Now here's Clark. And again, Seattle with the triple.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. Just phenomenal ball movement.
Everyone's looking for the best shot, and it's paid off during this run.
Parker with the ball, defended by Stewart. Pass to Quigley. Now Dolson. Back to Quigley. From outside the arc. That's in for her first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
Easily over 40% from three-point land the last couple of seasons. Quigley is an elite shooter. You can't let her get going.
And yep, it's good.
They've worked hard and created great chances for themselves in this opening frame.
If they match that effort at the defensive end, look out.
Parker gets the bucket.
Bringing hustle and heart to the court. Parker has become indispensable for her team.
Pass to Clark. And here's Howard. Bird. That's good, and it's Natasha Howard with the assist. Vandersloot with it. Kicks it out to DeShields. Here's Quigley. Vandersloot right side. Tried to come right back with the three of her own, but it's no good. Pass to Stewart. And the layup's good off the glass.
They've built a big lead very early.
Boy, right from the tip, there isn't anything they haven't done well.
It has been a textbook dominant performance.
Now here's Vandersloot. Outside Quigley. Out to Vandersloot. Three-pointer. Drops in the tray.
I love when Vandersloot lets it fly without hesitating. This is where she's most dangerous.
Pass to Howard. And stolen by Dolson. Quigley covered by Lloyd. Three-pointer diamond to Shields. Bird pulls it in. Seattle leading. From 18 feet away, and it's Seattle scoring again.
It's the forgotten part of the floor, the in-between area. But Bird still knocks them down from here, catches opponents off guard.
Now a timeout called by Chicago. And Brian, recently the rules changed, allowing for less timeouts. How does that impact close games?
I think it has a big effect early in games, actually. You have to value those timeouts more. So if you're a coach and your team is struggling, you can't burn timeouts. Your team has to end that run on their own.
In terms of the end of games, you have to pay more attention to game situations in practice as well. I do love it from a fan perspective. It really speeds up the end of these contests.
Good work defensively by Stephanie Dolson. And the call will be against Alicia Clark. That is her first foul of the game. Chicago trailing here. Stevens. Pass to Colson. Buries it from three-point range.
A good decision maker with a strong feel for the game. Stevens can spot open teammates whenever she's out on the court.
Now here's Bird. She's got 10. Clark. And again, Seattle with the triple.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the three ball at one end with their own.
A three-point battle starting to take shape here.
Here's Stevens. Pass to Colson. Just 5 to shoot. To the middle. Now Stevens. Here's Copper. The three-pointer off the mark. Stewart covered by DeShields. Here's Howard. And the layup is good.
And you can't help but really pick on their defense. They're completely in disarray.
Everything's coming much too easily. I mean, you've got to take something away.
Colson misses. Oh, and the fast break for the Storm. She muscles it in through the contact. They call the foul, and she's on her way to the line.
Well, this is the toughness you get with Breanna Stewart. She refuses to back down from pesky defenders.
She's getting her first free throw attempt of the game here. And the Sky making a change here. And here's Colson. Pass to Copper. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Stevens, defended by Stewart.
Well, I'm going to say the defense got pretty lucky right there because she's going to make a lot more of those than she misses when she gets that much room.
Well, they couldn't have dreamed of a much better start than they've had here tonight.
Yeah, they came in with a tremendous offensive game plan.
Timeout.
It's worked perfectly, and what a lead they already have to show for it.
And you got to give credit to this coaching staff as well. They came into this game prepared perfectly.
Time called here. The Sky decide to talk it over.
Well, guys, I'm really impressed with the growth of Natasha Howard's offensive game. Her scoring numbers have increased in recent seasons, and she's even added a three-point shot. I can't wait to see where she takes her game next.
Seattle on D. It's a 16-point game. To end the run. Russell pulls it in. Seattle with the ball. On the wing, Sammy Whitcomb. Pass to Longhorn. Back to Whitcomb. Clock at 6. Now Canada. Expanding her range. Now Russell. She's guarded by Stevens. And Sammy Whitcomb gets the 3.
Now they're setting the tone early with their three-point shooting.
Yeah, that's 5 three-pointers made already in just the first quarter. I mean, they're off to one heck of a start.
Now here is Stevens. No scoring yet from her, but that's likely to change. High arcing shot, and she takes it up and lays it in. And with how much Howard's offensive ability has improved, how important is it to continue adding to your game?
It's absolutely necessary, Blake. With how much teams these days are scouting opponents, you always have to hit them with new moves. Howard's flashed her potential as a serious scorer, and I expect her to keep that up.
Some tough offensive sets, and they really want to turn it around.
They got to lock in and need a basket just to regain some momentum.
Now here's Williams. And so she draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. And it's her first trip to the line. And the first one drops. And that's good as she hits both shots. Seattle dominating the game. Russell, she's guarded by Stevens. Russell misses.
Yeah, remember that. I mean, that's not an opportunity she fails to convert very often.
Here's Williams. Good work defensively by Brianna Stewart. To the paint, Langhorn. And a great assist by Jordan Canada, and that one falls in.
They continue to get it inside. The defense struggling to just contain them.
And look, when you make 5 in a row from in tight like they have, it also just takes pressure off of your perimeter guys.
Great point.
Now here's Williams.
Hey, yo, right here.
Outside Stevens. Here's Copper. Shoots and misses. 3 shots all come up empty. Now here's Russell. Outside Whitcomb. Fires from the line. And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. Storm out in front, up 19. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter 2. And we'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move into the second. And guys, we've seen a confident-looking Storm team out there.
They've come out so strong. Tremendous offense.
Very much in control and shooting very well.
Outside Stewart. Down low. Great pass to set up the land.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Everybody always thinks it's passing that gets you assists, but also their movement off the ball, it's created those opportunities.
Quigley evens things up with that basket. Her second of 4, shooting 50%. On the wing, Sammy Whitcomb, guarded by Quigley. Here's Whitcomb. The rebound by the Sky. Now Quigley. Pass to Hebert. And here's Colson. On the wing, Allie Quigley. Cans it from downtown.
That's just great all around. The passer gets the assist, Quigley gets the points. Good teamwork.
Inside. Langhorn gets the bucket.
3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The defense better start buckling down.
They're getting exposed and punished down low.
Now here is Hebert. She hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Quigley, Whitcomb defending. From the stripe. It's Gabby Williams on the wing. She can't hit that time. And the Storm going the other way now. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. And they pick up 2.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Every pass is with purpose, and their last 10 points have come off of assists. Great team basketball on display right now.
Took the opportunity when she saw it.
Silky, pretty, smooth, sweet, whatever word you want to use, that describes the jump shot of Allie Quigley.
Here's Whitcomb. Rebounded by Colson. Now here's Quigley. D right on her. That's in. It's her 5th field goal, and she's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Outside, Stewart. Russell. Langhorn right side. Brianna Stewart from outside. No good on that shot. So Chicago will take it the other way. Now here's Quigley. Whitcomb defending. Pass to Colson. Offline with the 3.
She should be looking to pass in that situation. That's a very low percentage 3.
Here's Chicago now. They've only given up 6 here in this quarter. Quigley gets the bucket.
Well, get your popcorn ready. Her performance from long range has been something to behold, something to admire.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, that's been her shot today.
Now a timeout called by Seattle.
Well, guys, Allie Quigley has to be one of the best long-range shooters in the WNBA. She certainly takes a lot of threes, but that's because she makes a lot of threes. Don't forget, she won the WNBA All-Star three-point contest in 2017 and then won it again in 2018. Back-to-back years.
Now here is Lloyd. From deep, Sue Bird. It's in, and she's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Just lighting it up. Remember, Sue Bird isn't just a prolific passer. She can score too. Good luck stopping both.
Dolson. It's good, and she makes her first shot of the game. And talking about Quigley's three-point shooting, Tim, how does that open things up for the rest of her team?
I mean, quite simply, it's huge, Blake. You have to account for Quigley on the perimeter. And really, that does a lot for her team's spacing. The driving lanes open up, passing lanes open up, and your offense can just operate more freely.
Clark can't hit.
Very close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Not a great habit to get into, letting her get that wide open.
Now here's Vandersloot. He has 5. And here's Allie Quigley outside. And that comes off the assist by Courtney Vandersloot.
Great outside shooting is really fueling this run.
And the D's just getting bombarded. They haven't been able to slow them down.
Pass to Howard. And the layup falls.
Once Howard collects inside, just one thing on her mind: score.
And it's the Sky ball. Down by 12. Back to Vandersloot. Dolson. That's her second shot and her second basket. My math says that's 2 for 2.
Well, they're starting to come on here in the second.
Yeah, their offense looking much better. They're trying to make up some ground.
Here's Vandersloot. Launches a 3. And again, it's Chicago with a 3.
Now you can see why she is the best career assist average in WNBA history. Vandersloot, she really just sets up open shots, leaves the easy points.
Bird gets the bucket.
Wow. 4 here in the first half. They're going to need to do something else on defense.
Pass to Vandersloot. Parker. Now here's Quigley. Shot clock at 6. To Shields with it.
She followed up a nice defensive effort on that possession with an equally good rebound.
Bird, Vandersloot defending. And the ball out of play. The Sky will have it. Vandersloot outside. Dolson. Back to Vandersloot. That one's all good. She's now 3 for 5 from the field.
So much improvement in terms of passing the ball for Dolson. She came into the league at about an assist per game, and she has tripled that rate.
Chicago trailing here. Left side to Shields. And it's Chicago with another. Lloyd with it. Pass to Clark. Here's Langhorne. The shot's good. Alicia Clark making the play.
An attentive player who sees the floor well. Clark really understands how to distribute the rock.
Vandersloot outside. And here's Dolson. That's tipped. And the ball out of play. The Storm will have it. And here are the Storm now. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. To the inside. Yes, once again. And she remains a perfect 6 attempts, 6 makes.
But when you get this kind of shooting from her, 100% from the field, I mean, they're a tough team to beat. Anybody's tough to beat.
Here's Copper. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for her.
Doing a much better job from three-point range than they were in the first. It's going to help them clip away at that lead.
And Stephanie Dolson with the block.
A tremendous shot blocker. Dolson's length at 6'5" and defensive IQ lead the swats.
The Storm making a switch here. Here's Bird. 16 points for her. And a miss there off the inbound. Here's to Shields. It's not going to go for her. So the Storm will take it the other way. It's good.
You know, the D paid so much attention to Lloyd, it allows others to get open looks. One reason Lloyd is a valuable offensive talent.
Now here's Vandersloot. She's got 10. And here's Copper.
Yo, look this way.
Outside to Shields. 6 on the shot clock. Now here's Russell. Pass to Clark. It's good, and she drew the contact on the shot, so she'll go to the line. A 3-point play opportunity.
Well, guys, I really admire the patience Alicia Clark has shown in her WNBA career. A second-round pick in the 2010 draft, Clark didn't land on a WNBA roster until 2012, but it all paid off for her in 2018 when she helped the Seattle Storm win the WNBA championship.
And with everything Clark has been through in this league, Tim, where have you seen the most growth in her game?
Well, her outside shooting has definitely improved over the years, Blake. She's also become one of the best defenders in the entire league, earning WNBA All-Defensive second-team honors in 2019. But a first-team nod might be coming sooner rather than later.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Well, anytime you're drafted in the top 3, you enter the league with some high expectations. But Vandersloot was able to make an immediate impact, making the WNBA All-Rookie team and earning All-Star honors in her first season in 2011, showing that she was more than ready for her transition from college to the pros.
Here's Stewart.
She's still scoreless in this quarter, surprising after her great start.
Off the inbound, no good. Outside to Shields. Yep, count it. And looking back at Vandersloot's early years in the WNBA, Tim, how has she been able to sustain her success over the years?
Well, it's been a treat to watch, Blake. Courtney's developed into one of the league's best passers and continues to make those around her better. Plus, her leadership ability has really grown over the years. When she talks as the point guard, her teammates listen.
And they can go 2 for 1.
Most importantly, play it smart.
Outside Stewart. From downtown, sinks the three-pointers.
Sharp shooting from Stewie. She's the definition of a stretch 4.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Pass to Parker. Back to Vandersloot. Now to Shields. 5 on the clock. Shoots from the line. Again, the miss by Diamond to Shields. Three-pointer, Brianna Stewart. And no good trying to get that one. So we conclude the first half. It's the Storm up by 10. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway. And the third quarter about to get underway here. Really just an incredible game from Quigley.
They put on a show from three-point range in the first half. We'll see if the halftime break had any cooling effect on her.
Well, we'll soon find out, because I guarantee they're going to keep feeding her the rock beyond the arc until she does cool off.
Now the second half about to get started up again any moment. Howard, guarded by Dolson. Bird gets the bucket.
Their interior defense has been dismal.
They're losing the battle in the paint.
Now Vandersloot. Dolson in the post, guarded by Howard. And it's Dolson missing.
A solid performance inside. You know, their rebounding, it's been terrific.
They're putting together a great game, aren't they? Strong performances throughout, and they've just been strong on the glass.
And it sets a tone. You don't want to get in the habit of letting the offense get right to the rim.
And that's the message they were sending with that foul, saying nothing easy inside with that one.
Yeah, but they got to play a little bit better defense before they get inside.
And good on both.
And while some players might shy away from the bright lights, Diamond DeShields certainly does not. Remember, her first WNBA playoff game back in 2019, she scored 25 points. It was the 5th most points a WNBA player has ever scored in their postseason debut.
And a minute played as the second half gets going. Bird outside. Lets the three fly. Rebounded by Parker. And speaking of DeShields in the postseason, does she have what it takes to lead a team all the way?
No doubt in my mind, Blake. She has what we call the it factor. She's a leader, she's assertive, and she really works for what she wants. I think she's fueled by her shortcomings, so I expect her to be even more dominant in future postseasons.
Now here's Howard. Pass to Clark. Jacks up a three. That's good, and it's Natasha Howard with the assist.
Moves well without the ball. Clark's pretty good at losing her defender and making them pay.
Now here's Dolson. Quigley. Parker with the ball. And that one good.
She's more of a shooter, but every now and then Quigley shows off her passing skills. Nice find.
Seattle in the lead. Bird outside. The three. That shot is good, and she has made 8 while only missing 4. That's 67% shooting. Vandersloot outside. Pass to Dolson. On the wing, Allie Quigley. The putback. It's good on the putback.
Timeout.
Another reason you want Dolson on your team. She can turn a missed basket into points. Tremendous effort on the boards.
Seattle calls timeout.
Well, guys, I think Stephanie Dolson represents the modern big in basketball. She does work around the rim, yes, we know that. But her three-point shot has become a real threat in recent years. And her strong shooting even extends to the free throw line, where she's more efficient than a lot of bigs.
They try to give me, I get their heaven. I stay away from, I'm such a gifted. I'm seated on the floor. She can see the loafers.
So Chicago going with an almost entire new group here. And here are the Storm now. And Dolson certainly presents a threat offensively, Tim. But how does she impact the game on the other side of the ball?
Yeah, Blake, I think her shot blocking ability really makes an impact on that side of the ball. She's an intimidating presence around the rim and relishes opportunities to swat shots away. Having a defensive anchor in the paint like Dolson can only mean good things for your team.
Now here is Hebert. She hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Pass to Colson. Soft touch off the glass.
That's where you like your shots to come from.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Bird outside. And here is Lloyd, guarded by Quigley. Here's Bird, the 10-footer. Rebounded by Colson. Outside Quigley. Pass to Colson. And here's Williams. Back to Quigley. 6 to shoot. Hebert outside. Up top, Williams. Quigley. She's covered by Clark.
Another good rebound, and we know she's giving up some inches to a few of the other players, but that just hasn't mattered.
Misses the three. Chicago trailing here. It's Gabby Williams on the wing. Here's Colson. She's got 7. On the wing, Allie Quigley, covered by Lloyd. Takes the 3. Colson misses. Here's Seattle. Clark with it. 12 points for her. And that one's good. Stewart.
You just have to love watching Stewart shoot. Uses the pass to get in rhythm, knock down the shot.
And they're looking for some kind of spark here.
Yeah, cold stretch offensively. They need a bucket.
Here's Williams. Stolen by Clark. One-on-one fast break. Here's Lloyd. And it's out of bounds to the Storm as Seattle retains possession. Outside Canada. She tries for three. The shot, no good. The Sky go the other way with it. And here's Colson. Outside Williams. Pass to Quigley. Now Copper. 5 to shoot. No luck on that one. And they're running. Here's Canada. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
She's a very strong finisher on the fast break.
And always in control, even at full speed like that.
So impressive.
Pass to Stevens. From deep. It's rebounded by Seattle. Now here's Russell. Whitcomb, guarded by Quigley. For three. And Sammy Whitcomb gets the three.
She is not going to miss many of those, if any. Not when she's got that much room, at least.
Quigley with it. Now Copper. She's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Good.
It's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
On the wing, Sammy Whitcomb, guarded by Quigley. Whitcomb, that's good.
They've given up so many threes today.
Their defensive rotations on the perimeter have been abysmal.
Outside Stevens. Copper. The shot will not fall. Excellent D there from Mercedes Russell.
Another miss. She's having an ugly game offensively.
Pass to Stewart. Langhorne outside. Outside Canada. Trying her luck from deep. Back to Langhorne. Now here's Russell.
Yo, over here!
Up top, Whitcomb. Shoots over Quigley. Again, Seattle.
She's been one of their more reliable options today, and it's her shooting that has given them this lead.
Timeout called the Sky.
They'd seen enough scoring in the paint and wanted to send a message to their team. Lock things up inside.
Yeah, you're right, Tim. I guarantee you this talk centers around cutting down on all those points coming against them in the paint.
And maybe it's more help. It's the front of player. They've got to try something.
Both teams will make substitutions. Here's Copper. Back to Vandersloot. Dolson, guarded by Howard. And that's going to be a travel.
Foolish play. I mean, she's got to be thinking out there.
Which she clearly isn't at this moment. Or maybe she was thinking, just not about basketball.
Here's Canada. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
She's trying to shoot her way out of it. They have the lead. She might help by being a little bit more selective tonight.
And the basket by Copper.
She was the first one to react to that miss. I mean, that's just a hustle play on the putback.
Inside, Canada. And she uses the glass on the layup.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Such a pretty pass.
I don't have an exact number for you, but I can tell you we've seen it a lot. Okay, let's just say that. Strictly using assists as the measuring stick, they've been by far the better team.
And that one good.
They're not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. And they had a lot more attempts in the first half.
Outside Whitcomb. Here's Stewart. Stolen by DeShields. here's Copper. Down low. Dolson in the post. Stewart's there.
She doesn't just score. Stewart uses that 7-1 wingspan on D, too.
Here's Russell. Another shot, and it's good. Fought through the contact, hit the shot, and she'll go to the line.
First personal foul.
One of the game's best players. Stewart is the type of player you build your franchise around.
Now here's Vandersloot. She's got 12. 7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Pass to Parker. Now Copper. Just 5 on the clock. The tray. And the ball out of play. The Storm will have it.
That is an unforced error if I've ever seen one, guys. Just not an ideal pass.
Outside Whitcomb. Can't hit it from 12 feet. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. It's the Storm running away with this one. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments for our fourth quarter of basketball coming up next. And we're getting underway in the fourth quarter. That scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things can change. Chicago with the ball. Vandersloot with it. Pass to Copper. Shot clock at 5. Parker. Courtney Vandersloot for 3. That ball is good for another field goal, her 6th, and she's at a 6 for 9 on the stat sheet. Here's Whitcomb. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Vandersloot outside.
Wow, I thought that was absolutely automatic.
And stolen by Diamond DeShields. Finished off the break.
The defense of DeShields starts the break. She's a huge asset on that side of the floor.
And the Storm with possession. Outside Whitcomb. Lets it go from deep. That's all good, and that's her 5th basket of the game. She's shooting 5 for 11 now. Now Copper. Outside Parker. Over Canada. They get the rebound. Dolson's shot's good.
Timeout.
They're not rotating quickly enough on defense down low.
They've got to provide more resistance inside.
Now a timeout called by Seattle.
Yeah, coach wants to get everybody on the same page out there and maybe change up some things as well.
Yeah, that's probably a good timeout. You might as well talk things through.
And kind of change that game plan as well.
Outside Lloyd. Here's the 3. Hits it from 3-point range.
It has been a 3-point barrage for them since halftime.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been by design or by accident, but either way, it's been impressive.
Maybe the coach just went up to the locker room chalkboard and just put a number 3 out there.
Now here's Vandersloot. And the basket by Copper.
She wasn't able to get her name on the score sheet in the first half, but here in the second half, she looks like she's in her comfort zone.
Here's Bird. Pass to Howard. Clark outside. Bird. Vandersloot defending. Vandersloot with the steal. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good, and she'll go to the line.
Personal foul.
Well, one thing about Diamond DeShields is that she comes from an athletic background. Her father was a professional baseball player, and so is her brother, while her mother was an All-American heptathlete in college. Selfishly, I'm just happy to see that DeShields ended up choosing basketball. Am I right?
Howard, guarded by Dolson. Outside Lloyd. Pass to Bird. 5 to shoot. To the paint. Howard lays it up and banks it in. Well, we know DeShields comes from a family of athletes, Tim, but how do you think that helped her growing up?
Well, she may have had an advantage with her ridiculous athletic ability, but it's never easy to harness and develop your physical tools. She took advantage of her opportunities and used them to grow her game. Nowadays, her fluidity seems second nature, whether it's in her body control or just overall game.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle today.
And control the boards has given them control of this game.
Now here's Vandersloot. Outside Quigley. Fires high post. That one a tad offline to the right, but it drops in for her.
She's been a real positive factor. Though, as a team, they're still falling a bit short there.
Pass to Howard. Over Dolson. And the Storm tack on 2 more.
Straight cash. I like seeing Howard rise up and knock down mid-range shots.
Dolson with it. Guarded by Howard. On the wing, Allie Quigley. Out to Vandersloot. And the ball out of play. The Storm will have it. Now here's Bird. To the middle. And a shot by Howard, no good.
Such tough defense there against one of the better finishers in the game.
Left side, Quigley. Over Lloyd. Quigley's shot's good.
Another hoop for Quigley. She's a stone-cold shooter, and when she's locked in, she'll shoot from everywhere.
And the basket by Lloyd.
I'm not sure, really, in that set who was supposed to be on her there, and apparently neither did the defenders.
Here's Vandersloot. Outside Quigley. And it's blocked by Jewel Lloyd. And she's able to get it back. Second shot opportunity, and she nails the jumper.
They're doing a good job of getting second chances here. A great way to cut into that lead.
Outside Lloyd. Pass to Stewart.
Yo, watch this.
And down it goes. 2 points.
Countless hours in the gym have enabled Breanna Stewart to hit mid-range shots like that. What a hard worker.
Timeout called the Sky. You have to like what we're seeing from Bird.
She's been gunning from deep. If you're guarding her, you got to get into her jersey. You can't sag off her at all, or you're just asking her to drop another 3 on you.
And here's Dolson. Here's DeShields. That's in for her 5th make of the night. Now shooting at a 50% clip, 5 for 10. Bird outside. Pass to Clark. 3-pointer. And again, Seattle with the triple.
She's putting on a commanding performance here. She's now hit 2 3-pointers in each half now.
Now here's Vandersloot.
Oh, hit that!
The 3. That one falls, coming off Stephanie Dolson's feed.
This is the type of competitiveness you love to see. How about Vandersloot stepping up and hit the revenge 3-ball?
Inside, Stewart. Down it drops through the net for her 9th bucket. She is 9 for 13 so far.
It's a pleasure to watch her work at that end of the floor.
Dolson's shot's good.
We didn't see much from her the first half, but she's making up for lost time.
The 15-footer. Bird gets the bucket.
You know her game, it all starts with her jumper. Bird has a great one, and it opens up everything on the court.
Outside Quigley. Pass to Parker. Vandersloot outside. Quigley. And 2 free throws coming up as she misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there.
Such a fierce competitor, even at under 6 feet. Quigley has the toughness to compete down low. And guys, Allie Quigley has had just an amazing career in the WNBA. She didn't play much early on. I mean, Allie was cut in 2011. She didn't even play in the 2012 season, but she stayed locked in. She kept working, eventually winning the WNBA 6th Woman of the Year in 2014 and 2015.
Bird with it. Stewart. Parker defending. Basket counts.
Great recognition on the catch and shoot. Howard understood exactly how much time she had.
And looking at Quigley's improvement over the years, Brian, how has she been able to put it all together?
Well, Blake, she worked hard and never gave up, which is easier said than done. And after making a name for herself as a reserve, her growth carried her to success as a starter. After becoming an all-star in 2017, 2018, and 2019, Quigley has to be incredibly proud of her journey.
A challenging stretch for Chicago here. Vandersloot outside. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
That's not an easy shot, but Vandersloot has just so many tricks up her sleeve. Nifty make.
It's Jewel Lloyd with the drive. Howard gets the bucket.
And they're getting that lead way up there right now. It should be easy for them the rest of the way.
Yeah, and at this late stage of a game, a lead like that has a team feeling awfully good.
And the other one bad.
Pass to Dolson. It's rebounded by Seattle. Bird with it. Vandersloot covering. And Sue Bird gets double teamed. To the wing, right side. That's good, and it's Natasha Howard with the assist.
She's their go-to scorer, and when she shoots the ball like she has today, that is what the scoreboard usually looks like.
Time called here. The Sky decide to talk it over. You have to like what we're seeing from Bird.
She just keeps drilling the big shots. They got to design a way to get the ball out of her hands.
Now Colson. Pass to Prince. The 3 ball doesn't go that time. So the Storm will take it the other way. Here's Howard. Add another one in the scoring column for her. She's 7 for 10 from the field.
They'll want to generate more of those shots in tight.
DeShields with it. Here's Prince. Now Williams.
Another good rebound. She's pulled down a bunch. Hasn't mattered that you know what? She's a little size challenge in the post.
Howard covered by DeShields. Pass to Bird. Prince. Yep, that goes.
I don't want to say that they're trying to run up the score, but they do keep adding up to that lead.
Well, if you won't say it, partner, I will. They're trying to run up the score here.
Thanks for saying that, Brian.
Here's Prince. Here's Colson. Deflects the pass. 5 on the clock. Stevens makes it off the glass.
I admire how Stevens relentlessly crashes the boards. It's pretty special for a young player.
And here's Tuck. Pass to Magbegor. Over Stevens. And it's Seattle scoring again. And so Seattle takes this one by a big margin. A resounding victory for them and in enemy territory, no less.
It was enemy territory, but with the way that they controlled the game, they took the crowd completely out of it. That's how to get it done on the road.
And that'll wrap it up